Kuma is having one of the best Legends League seasons we've ever seen. He reset number 2, 3, and 5 in the world, and he's doing it with the new best Lalo army in the game, Zap Lalo. Undoubtedly, the toughest style of base for this army is ring bases, but don't worry, Kuma makes them look easy. Now, one thing worth noting is he wasn't trying to get the scatter shot down here. The scatter shot with the new update does need 7 lightning, but he's okay because, look, there's no builder huts in range of this scatter shot, so he's more than happy to leave it on 0 HP. Now, one thing that Kuma does that's really smart on these ring bases is, look, he's going to let the queen walk this entire side here. He started her all the way down here, and he's happy for her to walk up because she's setting an awesome funnel for our king here, who's going to go in and deal with the defensive queen. And our queen's just chilling, right? She's got the unicorn with her. She can do this sort of mini queen walk on her own. King goes in, we use the poison spell to deal with the CC, and his value is undeniable. Now, unfortunately, the queen does go around. We did want our queen to go in, but watch the RC here. The RC is everything on these ring bases. If you can keep her alive, then she's just going to get insane value. Look at this RC ability. Bam. Gets rid of a sweeper, ground bow, and that weakened scatter shot. Now on ring bases, what you're always going to do is use the blimp on the town hall like this. Use the rage with it to take it down. And look at this. With the warden ability, there's just not much left. Our RC still has at least half health. Her and the Diggy put in huge work on the back end, and it's just up to your last Lava Hound and your balloons to clean up the rest. And this will end up looking close, but it's not really. Our queen still has her ability. We're still hanging on to 2 balloons, and that is a really nice attack, and that's kind of the default for what you want to see on these ring bases. Get awesome zap value. Go for the most zap value you can. Make sure you deal with the CC with your Sui. You don't want to deal with it with your Lalo. And then blimp with the Lalo to take it down the town hall, and just take out the rest of it with your remaining balloons. But don't worry, I got another replay for you guys. In fact, Kuma shared 20 replays for us. So there is lots of good content to come. Another ugly ring base here, but you can see this zap value right here is undeniable. Gonna get the Rage Tower, Expo, multi, and a sweeper. You just can't turn that sort of value down. But what are we going to do with the Sui? And I really like what he does here, because it doesn't actually make a lot of sense. But what we're going to do, we're going to kind of Sui straight into where we zapped. We're going to get rid of the heroes. We'll eventually deal with the CC. And we should even get this scatter down, and it just leaves a really nice path on the base. Generally, you use the zaps to set up the rest of your Sui, but on this, we're just using it to take damage off our Sui, so our Sui can take an even bigger chunk of the base. So I really like this. Using the skeleton spell. The skeleton spell is so important with this army. Use it either for the RC or for your king and queen to get maximum value. Unfortunately, the king does not go for the monolith here. So this monolith and eagle actually lives. The CC comes out just in time, but the king will deal with most of the CC from memory. RC kind of gets wrecked on, but I want you to focus on something here. Look at this Lalo path through the base, right? It is perfect. And I told you, with this army, always use the blimp on the town hall on rings. And this is true. But Kuma here is going to go with the slammer, and the reason why is he's very confident the loons are going to path to the town hall. They're going to go through it, but more importantly, because there's no defenses on the far side of the town hall, right? When the loons go to the town hall, they're going to jump off the poison like this. If there were defenses on both sides of the town hall, then what will happen is the loons can stay in this sort of area of the base where the town hall poison is a lot longer. Now, you still can only do this if there's good pathing to the town hall, but thankfully, there is excellent pathing here, so the 2 hounds are going to go across the base, and he's just going to sneak the stone slammer on this top side. The new cosmetic looks sick, and look, our loons are under no immediate threat. We send our last lava hound and the headhunters through, because we're going to try and time this warden ability. There goes the rage spell of our own. The town hall activates at 50%, also another good sign that we Sui the entire base. That, you know, the town hall activates at 50% during our Lalo. Loons are coming through. We still have the Yetis on the bottom side from the stone slammer, and this is wrecked. It's completely wrecked. It might not end up looking that way. Like, that's kind of just how Zap Lalo works, but we've got a wall of balloons. Nah, never mind. That looks crushed, especially for a ring base. Definitely the worst style of base for this army, but if you can get as good a zap value as this and enable your Sui, there's no reason you can't triple them. I want to use this base here as sort of a learning opportunity for you. So I've hit the pause button here because I want to show. Now we're definitely zapping the back end of the base, but what would you zap? Because there's multiple different options, right? You could get rid of these 3 buildings. You could get rid of these 3 buildings. Like, there's so many circles I can draw of buildings you can get rid of. Which one would you pick? And it's actually one that I haven't circled so far. So we'll come in and look at this. Gonna go for the Expos and the Rage Tower. Now, why is this? Why not go for a Scattershot? Scattershots are worse for Lalo than Expos are. Well, it's all about the funnel, right? What we've done on this, we got rid of the Rage Tower. That's the most crucial one to get rid of. But we've gotten rid of the 2 defenses on this side of the funnel, which means our heroes should go in on this side a whole lot easier. It's all about the funnel with the zaps. Obviously, you still need to get value, but you definitely need to get a nice funnel. Now, the Baby Drag doesn't really do a great job here. Unfortunately, it will die, and we don't use a Gob. I don't know why we wouldn't just use a Sneaky Gob. The Queen does go around as well, so the funnel doesn't really work out, but the King does go in, right? The King does go in. It doesn't really matter if it's the King or Queen that goes in. Just need one of them to go in, and look at this log launcher value. We're weakening the monolith in the core of the base. We pop the King ability. Our 2 Yetis come out. Now, you never want to use the Rage on your King or the Yetis in the core. We need that for the Lalo through the Town Hall. That is a defensive Rage. But look, we get the monolith down as well. The Queen and the RC on the top side. Generally, what you want to do is have the RC on one of the flanks that leads into the Lalo. So you can see the RC's cutting the Lalo pathing here. And I mean, it's completely wrecked. Our Queen is still alive as well, by the way, all the way over here. I won't be able to keep up with her actions, but she's still got her ability, and I just really wanted to show you this attack for multiple reasons. One, watching what he prioritized with the zap, going for Expos and Pathing over Scattershots and value, because Pathing is everything, and B, how good the log launcher is. Like, the 2 Yetis, they don't have to do much coming out of the log launcher, because the log launcher does everything. You just need a good tank, and this is, it's not even close. Not even close. So yeah, something to learn from that. Always think about the pathing when it comes to your Suis with this army, and never underestimate the log launcher. I can tell you that much. The log launcher is insane with this, particularly on diamond and box bases. This right here is an incredibly common base, so if you're using Zap Lalo, make sure you watch this. But yeah, to talk more about Kuma last season did push a little bit. He ended up just outside the top 200. I took note of it, but I didn't think he was capable of this season he's having here. Now, in the title of this video, called it like the debut season, and because he wasn't really in the top 200 a whole lot of last season. But yeah, obviously Stars has had probably better seasons when he's been like 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the world. But Kuma, a relatively unknown player, doing what he's doing at the moment is ridiculous. And, you know, he's arguably the best Zap Lalo player in the world. Watching these attacks, I don't seem to disagree, because look at this. Not using the log launcher this time. Because he comes in the Sui on the top side, there's no point using the log launcher. I'll point to show why. Like, he'd just be using the log launcher over here to help his Sui, but that doesn't hit any buildings, right? We already zapped out all the buildings here, so it's not doing any damage. Now, we could do the log launcher from here, but there's nothing tanking it. So if 2 Teslas pop here, well, that log launcher is just wrecked. We can't afford to use a freeze on it. So use the drill. A drill with our RC and a skeleton spell is going to gut this entire comp. The drill is a really nice siege machine. It's growing on me bit by bit, stunning defense after defense, and the Yetis pop out here, but I mean, look, the work's been done. King and Queen on the top side getting really nice value, and the RC and the Yetis are still going. If they could get this Scattershot down, what can this base do? And they will. Or will they? I actually don't know. The NATOs are really well placed there. RC ability goes off. That's quite unlucky. That's quite unlucky, but still the value was had there. Definitely worth investing the siege machine like that. We raged yet again over the town hall. The rage is so handy because you just get through the town hall so fast in terms of damage output. And now we're just going to keep on freezing this multi-inferno. Queen takes out the multi in the core. The scatter and the giant bombs will take down the Queen. Otherwise, she would have got it down. But we still got 2 lava hounds alive. That's something I haven't even talked about this video. Always get one Lava Hound in your Warden ability, you already have 3 Lava Hounds with this attack. If you get 1 in the Warden ability, it's like having 4, and you'll notice that a lot of the time a Lava Hound is alive towards the end of the attack and tanking, and I mean, look at all these balloons. It's quite ridiculous. But yeah, I really like this, showing that generally, it is best to sui through the back end, but if you're not suing through the back end, don't force a log launcher unless there's value for it. There are so many different zap targets on this base, but Kuma decides to go for the Rage Tower Expo multi in the core of the base, and I can't really argue with that. Obviously, you could zap this back end, but remember, you can't take those scatter shots down, so you know, Expos, Infernos, and Rage Towers, and Sweepers, I guess, is where you're looking for the value. I really like this approach, by the way, so because the Town Hall is so far on the outside of the base and there's lots of value near it, we're just going to sui it and we pull the CC before we activate the Town Hall or even any of the defensive heroes. I mean, look at this. What a perfect time to deal with the defensive CC. We basically just get rid of it for free, and anytime you can pull the CC for free, if you've got a poison spell in your attack, definitely do it. And you've always got a poison spell in this army, so absolutely worth it. Like, can't question that at all. And now we're going to come in with phase 2 of the Sui. He knows exactly when he's going to fight the defensive heroes, by the way, getting rid of these elixir storages without even putting down the rest of his Sui. This is actually quite smart. Pops the Queen ability, and here we go with the rest of our troops. We got a skeleton spell, and we've got the drill. I couldn't believe this, but kind of makes sense that if you're going to send a siege machine with your RC, let it be the drill. The Stone Slammer is a really nice defense, but doesn't really work in tandem with the Royal Champion that well. We got our massive Lalo on the top side. We're going to get a sick Warden ability here. And we've still got on the bottom side the drill and the RC working together. Our Queen, despite already popping her ability, is still chilling on the bottom side. Lava Hound's tanking really nicely. Our RC ability goes off. She will die quite quickly here because the Raged Expos are seriously overpowered. But I mean, look at how many loons are left. Our drill is still up in amongst this mess. It just stunned the scatter shot. I really like the drill with this army. I'm just going to say it. Now, if you're using a siege with your Sui, then the log launcher 95 times out of 100 is best. But if you're using something with the Lalo, if it's with your RC, use drill. If it's not with the RC, then use the Stone Slammer, or obviously Blimp if you need to take down the Town Hall. But yeah, so many troops up. He's just wrecking these bases, and I love the patience with the Sui on that one. Not spamming it all into the Town Hall. He dissected the base. Quite an unusual box here, and I'll actually pause it for a second, because look at the back end of the base. There's not really zap value anywhere. Now, he could get rid of the Monolith, Rage Tower, and both Sweepers if he was really good with his Quake spells and zaps, and that is pretty good value, but that's like in the core of the base, and the Monolith's not the biggest anti-Lalo target, so it doesn't really help us out that much. I mean, you could get just an Expo, but what he's actually going to end up doing is doing quite an unusual zap here. Look at this. Make sure he damages the Builder Hut, by the way. That's why the Earthquake was so offset. And then gets rid of the Expo and Rage Tower in front of the Town Hall. And this doesn't look like crazy value. But what it is going to allow him to do is Sui the Town Hall. It's going to be kind of like a Sui Lalo you saw at Town Hall 14, where the Queen would come for the Town Hall, King in between, and the RC on one side at Town Hall 14. You're not going to see the RC used with this Sui, though. Just needs the King and the Queen, and they're going to get really nice value. Perfect King pop. Gets rid of the defensive RC. Won't get rid of the Expo, but, you know, you can't have everything. But whilst we're waiting for this Sui to eventuate, I feel like I should say, gonna do a second video on Kuma's attacks and focus on one trick he does with his Zap Lalo attacks that I haven't seen anyone else really do as frequently as him. Something that will change how you Lalo with the army forever. So if you want to see that video, let us know down in the comments. It should come out in about a week. Got lots of good content coming your way, and let us know in the comments, as per usual, if there's any like awesome army being used in Legends League, or a top player that you know that you'd love to see their attacks on the channel. Let us know, and I'll try my best, particularly if someone's using a weird and wacky army. I do love that. Now, this I love doubly. This I love. So because the RC's coming in with the Lalo here, not actually going to use the drill, even though the drill makes sense. Because she's with the Warden, she is a bit more protected. But look at this Slammer. Its job to come in and get rid of a Multi-Inferno and a Sweeper, and that's worth it. That's one of the benefits of it. This Warden ability is insane. We get not only the Headhunters and a Lava Hand you see at the bottom, but we actually get our Queen, who was on 1 HP, still is on 1 HP, but is hanging on for life. But yeah, Kuma 2, 3, and 5 in the world, 10-ish days to go. Can he get multiple single digits? Potentially. I don't see this stopping. These attacks are just wrecked. Like, most of them weren't close. The only ones that were close were on rings, and that's understandable. Terrible style of base for this army. So yeah, if you want to see more Zap Lalo on the channel, I'll link it on the left. TK showing this army with an Ice Hound, which is not something I thought I'd use, but definitely it is still viable with the Ice Hound. But yeah, look at this. Completely and utterly wrecked. GG's, Kuma. Thank you so much for the replays, man, and hopefully you have an OP season.